Okay, there's a counter up here to see, and I can see.
I see it. So what are we live on? YouTube?
YouTube, yeah. So
Okay,
let me
I
open
was gonna
the
say
app.
I'll head over to the YouTube. And if we see ourselves, it's a good thing. And
It's a
hopefully
good
we'll
sign.
see
I
some.
just got a notification.
Oh, good. Oh, good. So there's probably a bit of a delay. So the
I see
listeners.
us.
Woo!
This
Okay, I'm
is.
gonna just go over here and bring up the chat as well, so that I can see if there's
Yeah,
any
that's
comments.
smart. Oh, someone's watching. It's probably one of us.
Probably, but I will. I will quickly share this link
Yes.
so that we can get some more. How do I share? Tech savvy people. Oh, there we go. Share to Twitter.
I was gonna say there. I'm pretty sure there's a share button.
There
Hello,
is.
everyone that's joining. We are.
I am not good at this.
Yeah, I've never done a live through the streaming platform before, so we're just winging it. Truly,
I'm just putting out a tweet, and then we can.
same.
And I are talking Flames and round 1 recap. All right. Boom. Okay. Now I will bring up the chat. I do not want YouTube Premium.
No.
All right. So now we wait, or now we can. Because are you planning on putting this in the podcast form as well?
I think it's gonna stay on
Just on YouTube?
YouTube channel.
Good call.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's a lot easier that way.
Yeah, I prefer it, and I mean I've never done it, but I've seen other shows do it. Yes, thank you. Shows
You're
do
welcome.
it. I like it. I think it's cool, and
It is. It is. It's gonna be fun.
It's just fun.
It is.
So hello everyone. I guess I'm just gonna wait to see how many people
Get into the real stuff now.
Yeah. So how are you doing, Adi? You know, it was quite a nerve-wracking day for us on our end.
It was. You and I were going back and forth a lot today. Just hypotheticals and what's going to happen with the Calgary Flames. And, you know, they don't pick till 59, I think we established, or something in that range. But yeah, it was an interesting day. There were a lot of names floating around today in Calgary Flames land that people had a lot of people up in arms, and, you know, rightfully so.
Right.
I mean, the names that were going out there weren't like we're not talking Trevor Lewis, the pending UFA, right? It's you know, we saw Matthew Tkachuk's name floating out there, a couple reports that were quickly squished there when Trey finally had his talk with the media today, and Pat was kind of squished all that stuff. But other than that, other than the stress that was caused from all those reports, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm so much better now that the first round is just about over. You know, the first thing I saw today was that Matthew Tkachuk tweet that he was, you know, oh, I trust my gut that he's on the move, or my gut says he's on the move. And then Bucci Grass, whatever, says, oh, yeah, Matthew Tkachuk's name swirling around. No, it's not.
Yeah, John really scared the hell out of all of us before we even poured our first cup of coffee this morning.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever, this man decided to attack a fan base that's already so fragile this time of year. But yeah, it was interesting because it was interesting in a news sense for the first half of the day before we got to the actual draft, because that was pretty much the extent of anything Calgary Flames related up until the draft.
Yeah.
Anytime Gary went up to the podium and said, we have a trade to announce, Calgary Flames, do something, just anything, just have your name out there. And sure enough, not today. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking seeing the Tkachuk stuff, because, you know, that kind of leads us back to John. And you and I have been talking about it all along, how we both are firm believers that Tkachuk is waiting for Gaudreau. And if Gaudreau goes, Tkachuk is going to sign that QO and hasta la pizza into free agency the next year. So, yeah, it was a big day. And I know we can quickly talk about Gaudreau and his and the contingency that Matthew Tkachuk maybe holds to Gaudreau's contract.
Yeah. So I think for me, the big thing today was Chris Letang signing his contract, because he was one of those names in Pittsburgh that was kind of like, if I'm signing this contract, is Malkin gone? Or no, is he the other one that's a pending UFA?
Oh yeah. No, you got that right.
Okay, I was gonna say there's been so many.
You hit the nail on the head.
Like,
don't second guess yourself. You killed it.
But yeah, so I was kind of like waiting to see, not that his numbers were going to come in anything close to John's, but to see what the term looked like and to see that first free agent kind of make that extension. And it's kind of like, okay, this is a good start. I think we just need John to put that pen to paper and do it.
Yeah.
And I said yesterday, he can't go to Philly. His best friend, Kevin Hayes, wears number 13. And if he doesn't want to have fun and win, John Tortorella is not the coach to play under.
I know. And you and I talked about it a bit today too, was they're not competitive. Like, this is not a team that's, at least I think, anywhere close to being competitive or at that level where they're going to be competing for a Stanley Cup anytime soon. And I don't know if that's something that's going into Johnny's choice. I'm sure there's a lot of things. I often find myself removing myself from the fan and the media for a second and putting myself in his shoes as him being a first time, making a massive decision that's going to impact the rest of his life. Freshly married, Meredith's pregnant, there's a whole lot of things going on. You need a new contract. You got to figure out where you want to play for the next 7 or 8 years of your life. You got to figure out how much money you're going to be making. You got to figure out if this is a team that you want to go win a Stanley Cup with or go try to chase a Stanley Cup with. I'm sure the family factor has kicked in. There's so many things that are just probably, piling up on this very small human being and piling him further and further and further into the ground. There were some interesting reports today, though, and maybe some promising reports today if you're a Calgary Flames fan and if you want Gaudreau to come back. I hope to God you are.
This isn't the podcast for you.
No, if you're coming on here to see us chirp him and hope to God that he doesn't come back, then go watch go watch Locked On Oilers or something where they're probably hoping and praying for our demise. But
exactly.
All jokes aside, all love to the rest of the network.
We love that.
We do. But yeah, like, there's a lot that goes into this, and there was some good news today with, I think it was Frank Saravalli who said that there was, sorry, just reading the live comments, not just the Oilers. Good point.
Hello, good point. JD.
Hello. But yeah, so, I mean, I think it was, I can't remember the exact tweet. I'd love to pull it up, but I do have the live chat. But nice to know that the chat pops up over here. So I might actually try to find it.
No, I didn't. I thought that was just going to be, okay, so social comments displayed here. I thought it was just going to be like if it was like tech support. So, okay, good to know.
Good to know that you and I are both on the same page when it comes to technology. We're great for our generation.
I was going to say, Gaudreau's not that much older than us. And like, I have a hard enough time deciding, oh, can I take out this car payment? Like, can I do this? Like, oh, what if rent goes up? Let alone being in the position of like generational wealth and being responsible for that.
Oh, geez. I can't find the tweet now, but I think it was Saravalli and Pat Steinberg from
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was something along the lines of like, just to take a deep breath, because it's not a no, which is a good thing.
Better.
It's also not a yes, which is not a good thing. The closer we get to that date of July, I believe it's the 13th when free agency opens, which is pretty hilarious. That 13 is going to be a free agent on the 13th. That number will curse me for the rest of my life if this man leaves. But
yes.
The closer we get to that date, Jess, how do you feel? Like, what does your gut say about, the longer that this goes on? We know that 8 times 9.5 has been offered.
Yeah.
The longer this prolongs, how do you feel? Like what's going through your head?
I'm just waiting for the tweet notification from someone to tell me that the negotiations are heating up. Number one, there aren't negotiations. I think that's the best deal he's going to get, regardless of, what the market has to offer. But I'm okay with him waiting. I really am, because, from the human perspective, it's like, this is such a huge decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you this earlier. It sounds so bad when I say it out loud. Meredith and John they're expecting their first child.
They are, yes.
That plays a huge role into this.
Of course it does.
Because it's not like they're Canadian,
No.
Canadian born. No. Like, they have to think about raising this child and all that stuff. But it's also like, whatever. They have enough money.
They will. If they didn't now, they will come July 13th. I'll tell you that much for free. That's something we can both bank on.
Right. And it's just kind of like, okay, if they want to wait and make sure that this is the right decision, like staying is the right decision, okay, that's great. Because I don't know, sometimes loved ones, they come to you in your dream and they're like, you are an idiot. Or they're like, you're making the right decision. That, he could be waiting for something like that. I don't know. But I am also thinking that he has probably had conversations with Matthew and the rest of the team to say, our window's wide open. Mm-hmm. If I stay, imagine having that much responsibility and pressure on you alone. Right. But then if you walk, you're back to where you were before the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So
it's, and a lot of it too has to, like, another part of that whole making a decision factor and all that stuff comes back to a point that actually you made, and I couldn't agree more with you, but I didn't even think about it this way, is like, does ego come into it at all? Like, do you want to go down as the greatest or one of the greatest Calgary Flames of all time, next to number 12, right? Like, do you want to be the best? Do you want to be known as, do you want to walk into any restaurant, any bar, anywhere you go in Calgary and have it on the house for the rest of your life?
Do you want your baby's nursery?
Yeah.
Fully furnished?
Yeah. All the hardware.
All
the hardware. I wonder if that doesn't play a role in it, or at least, we talked about the statue, you and I. You brought up the statue. Do you want one day do you want the statue? Right? And it's I'm not saying that's not playing a factor or is playing a factor, but it makes you wonder if that's one of the things that, we always talk about the money and the fit and wanting to be close to our family. Nobody really thinks about the other intangible stuff like that, right? So it's
you just have to think, like, for him, when you mentioned the ego, the fact that he called his mom and was like, Mom, I'm wearing the A, and she's crying. Do you want to make her cry more happy tears?
Yeah.
You stay in Calgary and you win.
How about this? You can call your mom and tell her you're wearing the C for all I care. I don't care what letter goes on your chest. Throw as many C's, as long as you're wearing the flaming C. That's all that matters to me. Exactly. I don't care what other letter goes on there. Yeah, I would be happy. Now, on the contrary, on the flip side of things, as much as we want to anticipate for, all the reunion and how happy everybody's going to be when we see Elliot Friedman tweet, hearing Gaudreau to Cal, as much as we all want to see that, I think the reality of it is too, a lot of Flames fans need to expect that there's a good chance this man does not come back. And I'm not trying to be a negative Nelly.
And this is where we end today's show. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. I will see myself out, and this is my last ever hit on Locked On Flames.
No, but it is a reality that we need to face.
Right. It's something that, yeah, you need to not accept it, because it's not a yes or a no yet. But you need to at least come to terms with the fact that it's a possibility. right? In all likelihood, it could happen. This man has earned the right to walk himself into free agency, pick where he wants to go, and write his own check.
Right.
So just come to terms with it. That's all we're saying.
Exactly. But if, like, you think about it logically, like, remove yourself, why wouldn't you want to stay somewhere where you can win versus, I mean, your family loves Calgary too.
Come on. We all know the Gaudreaus love this place.
Right. Like,
Guy brings his hockey gear out here and plays beer league for crying out loud when he comes and visits for extended time.
That's incredible to me, you know? And then you're going to go somewhere where you're essentially starting over. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're closer to family. Yeah, whatever, you know? Family, who needs them?
Family schmamly.
Right. Like,
well, it's funny. You and I talked about it today too. It was like, okay, yeah, it's great being close to your family and all. And I understand that for other people, that's, you know, maybe being closer to family is more important to them. But like in a good year for a hockey player, you get what, 3 months off before you got to report back to camp. I texted it to you. I said, John and Meredith could drop off John Jr. to Guy and Jane's front step and stay there for 3 months. Yeah. And I'm sure that they would both get sick of each other at a certain point.
I love the jump to acceptance in the 12. Yeah. Like,
well, you got to do it.
You
right?
have to.
If you don't have to just accept it at this point, but you have to be at least be ready to accept it, because, you know, there's 31 other teams out there that would probably want to acquire the services of Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah.
And, you know, you put that into odds. You got a 1 in 32 chance of bringing a guy back. It's, yeah, I don't know. The skip to acceptance thing is true. It's valid. You got to be ready to accept it. Whether or not it happens, that's a different story.
Yeah, then that's a whole nother grieving process.
That's a whole other 45-minute episode of Locked On Flames where Jess and I are both just crying.
Right. I was just gonna say, it's just gonna be us like violently crying into
sobbing, looking up the phone numbers in the yellow pages to the Gaudreaus and just trying to beg them to stay. Yeah, some teams do have the cap space, which is the scary part.
Yeah, we know.
Which is the scary part.
I actually don't know what Anaheim's cap space looks like. I just know that he's the host of.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I don't know. I mean, and is Anaheim really a team you want to go chase a cup with right now? I mean, we're not going to go there. But
like, also, if you're trying to move closer to family.
Yeah, that's quite the opposite. Wait, is Calgary closer? Would that be?
Yes, I think so.
Calgary's got it. I don't know my geography
because
of the United States.
Anaheim is 3 hours behind, so they're further.
Oh
west.
Yeah, they're on the. Yeah. That's got to be distance wise. I mean,
locked on geography.
Locked on geography. Can I tell you a quick story about something funny about geography? When I was in Florida a few years ago, I had an Uber driver pick me up to bring me somewhere, and. You know, one of the things I love about the Southern United States is you get in a cab, you get in an Uber. It doesn't matter who you are or whatever. The first thing that comes out of their mouth is, "So where are y'all from?"
Yep.
And I'm like, I look at my buddy. I'm like, nobody knows where we're from, so we're just like, all right, we're from Canada. Whereabouts in Canada? We're like, all right, Calgary. And they're like, he's like, where's Calgary? We're like, you know, just north of Montana and Alberta. He's like, Montana? He's like, I always thought Montana was part of Canada. So there's your locked on geography story,
honestly,
courtesy of Audie James. That was just my 2 cents on.
That's amazing.
Some of the people.
That's fair.
You run into in their geography, but just bring it back to Flames land, and nobody gives a crap about my stories, and I'm sorry for that. Yeah. So acceptance is one thing, and then there's another thing too that I think we need to talk about, and it's what are the Flames going to do? Right? Like, what do they do? Do you go out and you try to replace him in free agency? We already talked about it. Beyonce, he's irreplaceable, right?
Yeah.
There's a whole plethora of things you do if you find out before July 13th that he doesn't want to come back or isn't coming back. One of those things might be exploring the option of trading those rights to another team who might have a better chance of signing him. They get that 8th year if they sign him before July 13th, and the Flames get a little something back in return, so you don't completely lose the services of the.
People ask me if Vermont is in Canada. Honestly, That is,
It's
that's fair.
It was hilarious. I didn't even like. I felt so bad for judging this individual, this Uber driver who was the same age as us, by the way. Good for him. Nice little side hustle.
Yeah.
Doing Uber over spring break. I bet you he made a
Probably
fortune
made
though.
a killing.
Oh yeah, for sure he did. But that was an experience.
That's awesome.
But do you so let me ask you, if you're GM Brad Treliving and you know there's a team that will go move heaven and earth to try to sign this man, are you trying to entice them? Hey, look, we can trade you his rights if we know it's a fit for both. And they might want to pay a little bit more because they'll get that 8th year and they'll drive AAV down. John will get the money he wants, but they'll drive down that annual average value, bringing the cap hit down, more cap space. What do you think if you're Brad? What are you doing?
Running for the hills and mountains of man.
Well, good thing there's lots of them in Alberta.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think that Treliving is in such like a winning mode, and he wants Gaudreau back. I think that his job also depends on this offseason.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for him.
Yeah. And I don't know how you as a GM can say, okay, yeah, we'll trade you this for our best player.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't, I don't
But
know.
This is so let me rephrase what I said. This is on strict knowledge that so say Louis Gross comes to you and says, nope, there's nothing you can do. My client has made up his mind. He does not want to stay in Calgary.
Oh, then yeah, bye.
Right. That's what I should have prefaced with.
Okay.
If you know it's going to be a no, because you have to imagine there's probably not a deadline, but there's probably have in mind, right? Yeah. A date that they have in mind, because, Brad's going to want to get an answer sooner than later so that he knows what to do this free agency. Because there's a lot of money tied up there that you're going to be giving Gaudreau that you're probably going to want to use somewhere else in free agency to try to replace him or bring players in to kind of backfill other roles. So you're going to want an answer sooner than later. And anyway, I don't know. I feel like
no, but I
it's
totally
just such
get that.
Mind twister, like there's so much going on that it's just hard to wrap your head around and hard to stay ahead of anything that's going on with this team. So.
And it's hard too because, as somebody who was an outsider for the Flames, basically all of Johnny's career, all I knew about him is that this kid just wants to go home.
Yeah. Well, that's what the media tried to
pump. Eric Francis, I will name his name. He's never coming on the show.
I'm glad.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
I was saying it to JJ. Side note: how hilarious will it be? And not that it's going to be hilarious, but Gaudreau leaves, and his reasoning is he wants to go back home. Everybody owes Eric Francis an apology because he was right all along. But anyway, go on with your point.
But that's all I knew about him was that he doesn't like Calgary. He hates it. He wants to go back east. He's not having fun, any of that. And then this whole season, or really my 3rd season covering the team, is I love it here. My family loves it here. It's this whole different story. So I understand why people on the outside are like, he's gone. He's gone. It's like,
that's all they feed you. That's all they lead you to believe.
Right. And plus him playing tricks around the trade deadline, 3 or 4 years ago, him taking everything Calgary related out of his bio. He could have been doing that because he was on the trading block, and then
when he went for a pee during practice on the trade dedeadline day.
Oh my God!
I remember that day.
He's like,
pee, man.
I just have to pee. That's all.
Just scares everybody in Calgary, but it's it's gonna be interesting. The saga that revolves around Johnny Gaudreau and the Calgary Flames. We could probably fill an hour and a half of
I was just gonna say 2 hours of
airtime just talking about him, and then even Tkachuk too. But I wanted to bring that up because there was a lot of that going around. We talked about the Tkachuk thing and how we're glad that was squashed and how that's contingent on Gaudreau. But today was draft day.
Today was draft day.
The Flames didn't pick in the first round. We know that was shipped off to Montreal for the Tyler Toffoli package. So they don't have a first-round pick. They don't pick till 59. The rest of the division, however, they had some picks. Some teams moved some things around. And specifically, not that this is an Oilers show, the Edmonton Oilers shipping out their first-round pick and a plethora of other picks with Zach Kassian as a salary dump to the Arizona Coyotes, which is crazy if you followed along and watched the Mrazek salary dump from the Toronto Maple Leafs, who paid significantly less to dump the contract of Peter Mrazek than the Oilers did to dump the contract of Zach Kassian. But either way, I digress.
I love it. Make the Oilers pay.
Yeah, I do too. And you know what?
Toronto pay, but you know what? Make
the Oil pay, though. The Oilers can pay. But they do a little bit of crafty work there. I will give them some credit in dumping off that salary and getting that contract off the books. But they free up some more space. We want to talk quickly about that in the division, because obviously the Flames are going to see them a bit. Does that mean they're pushing for a key free agent? They got to go get a goalie still, I'm pretty sure. They probably want to bring back, a guy like Kulak is who I'm thinking of right off the hop, but I know what everybody else is thinking. Are they trying to move money to bring back Evander Kane? Probably. It's going to be an interesting, it's going to be an interesting next few days too for our friends up the Highway QE2 here in Alberta.
Yeah, I think that their biggest concern right now should be a goaltender, because the goalie market is a little weird.
It's a goalie carousel right now, hey?
Yeah, it is, and I don't know what their plans are. Is Jack Campbell going to end up an Oiler?
Husso?
Oh, he's still on the market.
Billy Husso could be the guy.
Right. And
I don't know.
No, don't. No. You can't. Don't go there, please.
I don't know what's going to happen. We know that the division might get stronger depending on what they do with that. If they're going to weaponize that cap space and bring in some more talent around 97 and 29 up there in the beautiful city of Edmonton, which I had the privilege of spending all last weekend there.
Based on your tweets, it was a real nice place to be.
It was, you know what? I found myself surprised in the city of Edmonton, just taking in some of the places I hadn't been. And I was like, this city can be pretty nice, but it seems super slummy everywhere also at the same time. And I don't know how to drive here, because I'm pretty sure you drive on the other side of the road in Edmonton. It's just a jungle, just an absolute zoo. But it's crazy. I do not recommend it. No. If you're a first timer, just take your time. It's crazy in the city of Edmonton. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on that. You and I said we would spend some time, park a little bit of time on what they're going to do, because it does kind of relate to the Flames in the sense that, same division and what's the rest of the division shaping up to be, especially if, the Flames do lose some pieces this offseason. But like we said, draft day was today. First round was today. Wrapped up, I'd hope, by now. I hope it's done.
I haven't seen that's all for round one.
Over 4 hours since the draft started.
Yeah. I'm going
to 4 hours. It started at 7 Eastern, 5 my time. And it's now 20 after 9 in Calgary. Yeah. But so the first round was today. We'll see rounds 2 through 7 tomorrow.
Yes.
And the Flames will pick at 59 in the second round. So, I just got a notification saying NHL Draft Tracker, catch up on the first round.
Thank God.
It's got to be done.
It's over.
So they don't pick till 59. It's going to be a late second round pick. And we know that the Calgary Flames are notorious for trading down. So I wouldn't be surprised if their guy isn't at 59 and they can 65 or whatever, and they trade that pick down and get more picks. Brad does it every single year. Yeah. That being said, there are some interesting names that I've seen and that other people have seen. I know we talked about Lambert before we started hitting record. And as I said that, he got picked by the Winnipeg Jets. I wasn't sure how far. Yeah, I wasn't sure how far he was going to fall down. But there's going to be some interesting names that pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Did Jagger Firkus end up getting picked?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. He was, I think, supposed to go in the first round as I open up my draft tracker notification that just sent to me.
I'm so bad at this. Like,
I don't think he's going to fall that low. Let's see here. Where were we?
I just don't know enough about the prospects in general, and then like opening it up to obviously like the European leagues and whatnot, and that's to no fault of my own. But I do feel bad for a lot of these kids because, you know, their true development and scouting seasons were kind of, you know, impacted by something or other. But
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see who's available.
Yeah, so Jagger Firkus didn't get picked yet. I'd imagine he'll go early in the second round here, but the Flames might have the opportunity to pick a couple of names that stand out to me. One of them being an AJHL route. I've had the privilege to actually watch this guy a lot this year and call some of his games. The other one, some links to the NHL. Christian Kyrou, brother of Jordan, St. Louis Blue. Playing in the Western Hockey League for I can't remember who. It's going to bug me. But either way, they should be available in and around that area. And I know a lot of Flames fans have their eyes on him. And sorry, the AJHL product is Rieger Lorenz, Okotoks Oiler alumni. And he will be attending, I believe, University of Denver, if I'm not mistaken. He's committed there next year. But those would be two really good picks in the second round if Brad does so choose to pick in the second round. We know, like I said, we know this man is notorious. He trades down and he just gets more draft picks and keeps picking and does his thing because he knows that he can get his guy later.
Absolutely, and I think like what's fun about him is that he's talking, he's working, he's doing his thing. But like, I look at the 2015 draft for them. Mangiapane, Shillington, and someone else who is, I'm so sorry because I know I'm going to remember your name as soon as we're done, but they were really good picks, and they've turned into NHL players. The 2015 draft is talked about a lot, especially by Bruins.
Why would?
Especially, you know, I don't know. They had 3 picks in a row or something, and I think like one of them is in, or 2 of them are in the NHL.
Oh God, I'm looking at that right now. I always loved
sickening.
That Jacob Jake DeBrus, Anishin. And then
so literally
picks after were Matt Barrell, Connor, and Thomas Chabot.
Yeah, and I saw a tweet today that said something like, "Oh, the Bruins have a chance to get Chabot, someone else, in Shillington," and I was like, "Oh my God, what?" It's just that draft. It was just
it's sad.
It's so sad. But
it's sad. It's disheartening. But I don't know. Brad trades down. That's something that we've all come to realize as Flames fans and as media, that this guy, if his guy could be picked at 50 or at 63 and he's got pick 59, he will trade for pick 63 and get like a late 4th round pick as well. Right? It's just like, I don't know. Maybe it's good GMing. I don't know.
Oh, right. Like I don't know why. Like I remember last year. Last year was my first draft, like covering the Flames, and I was like, why does this man just trade down? What is he doing?
Yeah.
And I mean, Coronado's a good kid. I don't even think it was like the second round that he traded, but I think it was still like a good kid. I don't know. I don't know what he does. I couldn't do his job. I would cave immediately, but
I feel that. It's tough. It's not an easy job. It's a thankless job at times, especially when people like us come at him for, why did you pick him? You know, like as if he doesn't know these prospects better than we do.
Exactly. Like as if he doesn't have like a full cabinet of people.
Right.
Somebody responded to my tweet. We have it. And I said, you can't just replace Johnny Gaudreau. Average guy 091 says he doesn't want to be in Calgary.
Oh, dude. Okay. You heard it here first. Average guy. bunch of numbers.
Yeah.
The insider, he has all the scoops. Does not want to be in. Maybe that's John's burner.
I was just thinking. It was like
he's like, I don't want to be here, dog.
Right? He can't get it. Can't get Uncle Jim online to talk, so that's his own burner.
Yeah. What are we gonna do if John leaves and Uncle Jim is just like not part of Flames Twitter anymore?
Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, this man's Twitter is literally just filled with like alt-right conspiracy theories. So thank you very much. All right. So we know that John wants to be in Calgary.
Yeah. So whatever he says, it's the opposite. So John's staying. So thank you for that.
But could you imagine Jim like not tweeting about the Flames games?
No, and I don't want to.
So sad.
No, Jim has been an integral part of me on Twitter, not losing my mind because he's just so damn positive about everything the Flames do.
I love it. He's
man, he's fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. It's been like it's. I feel like in Flamesland right now, it's a lot to report about nothing. It's kind of how it feels because all it is right now is strictly speculation. Yeah. We don't really have a whole lot to report.
No.
And it's a lot of what ifs and what do we do if and what happens when discussion. So it makes for tough radio sometimes. Yeah, me too. And it makes for tough radio sometimes because it's like just the same thing shoved down everybody's throat, and it's just where you feel like you're beating it to death. But
okay, I have a question for you.
Let's hear it.
Would you rather have Philip Forsberg or Nazim Cadre?
Cadre's a big time impact guy. I want to say I think he's a couple years older, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like you could probably get Cadre cheaper than you could get Forsberg. I just have this feeling that Cadre's not gonna one free agent's gonna sign and then Cadre's gonna be like, oh, I guess I can't get $1 billion that I thought I was gonna get.
I saw the reports of him getting possibly up to $10 million,
which I don't think is.
I don't think
that's happening at all. I would be surprised if he gets north of 7.5.
Yeah,
if that. Yeah, 6, 7, and 7, 6 between 6 and 7.5 is what I would think, or I would guess. Yeah. But I think I'd take Forsberg.
Yeah,
especially if you want to try to replicate what John did. Not that Forsberg is the exact same player, but I think he's a more skilled player than Nazim Cadre, and that's not a knock at Naz at all.
No.
Yeah, it's not a knock at Naz. It's just that Cadre's impactful in so many different areas that that Forsberg isn't, and same vice versa. Right. So I just think that I would go with Forsberg.
Yeah, that's.
But I would also rather go with Cadre.
Yeah, yes.
I get what you're saying. Contingent on if Cadre leaves.
Exactly, because I had to do this on a show earlier in the week. I was like, well, what if we have to replace John? And I was sitting here at my computer scripting at the show, and I was like, I can't feed my viewers and listeners this. I don't believe it.
I don't think it's happening, so you should believe it's happening.
Exactly. And at this point, I have told you so many times, I've said it on Twitter, I have said it since the start of this season. John is not going to go to a team where he is going to be stuck losing for the second half of his career. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't care if it's closer to family. He wants to win. Mm-hmm. He is a competitive, a little fun-sized, sweet little Italian boy. He's a grown man, okay? He's a grown man who's competitive professional hockey player. But
he's a little guy.
He's a little guy. And he has the skill. He knows what success tastes like now. Yeah, you know what? It was only the first round of the playoffs, but guess what? There's always next year. Mm-hmm. If you stay, you're pretty much guaranteed a spot in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I would say so.
You go play for Jersey or Philly, you know what you're guaranteed? To be ripped apart by big market media.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. That's got to be a thing too. I never even thought of that. Good point about the market.
I didn't either until I said that.
Calgary's such a small market that, he's going to be, not a whole lot of national attention with the Calgary Flames, at least in Canada. And I know damn well in the U.S. the Flames do not get a whole lot of coverage.
No, that's just I'm responsible for that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you. They'll follow Johnny Gaudreau, the player, but they won't follow the Calgary Flames, the team.
Exactly.
So this market where media is about to be at an all-time low too. We don't know what's happening with the local sports station here. It's some crazy times in the sports media world in Calgary. It would be a good time to be a superstar playing for a small market team.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to kind of just, he doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that wants to be the center of the media attention, like at all. Like rather the opposite.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I feel like we got to see more personality from him this year in his media.
I think Meredith helped with that.
Oh yeah. We love Meredith.
Yeah, she helped him out with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, going to be interesting.
But okay, even look at Blake Coleman. He had a choice between large market Boston, who at the start of the season, they were certainly more of a contender than Calgary looked. But he chose the sweet small market of Calgary.
And what did he say? He wanted to pick a place where he could raise his family.
Do you know how many kids he has? 2.
2.
And you know who else raises their kids here? Milan Lucic.
And the Backlunds.
The Andersons. They have a kid who's not, he's like almost a year old. Look, give me the number and I will call John myself and convince him.
Yeah, that's all we need. It's just so John, by the way.
Yeah.
Audience gesture.
Yeah. Hey, what's up? I've only ever praised you on my podcast, so I'm just going to convince you to stay here.
Oh, yeah.
But by the way,
small town market.
Yeah. And there's a lot more family-oriented things to do.
Absolutely.
You want your kid to be raised in the filthy city of New Jersey, the state of New Jersey? I'm sorry, no offense. I know you're from there, but it's disgusting. Philly?
Aren't they pretty cruel to their sports teams there?
Yes.
Like, obviously, like the baseball guy in me, like I know the 76 or not 76ers. God, I was thinking about the Sixers. The Phillies get a lot of, as I say, I'm a big baseball guy, and I'm
you're naming the wrong team.
Disregard.
Okay. I
know the Phillies.
Call the Flyers the Phillies. That's fine.
Yeah, same thing. Right. The Phillies get poo-pooed on anytime they're down in the dumps. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, Jess. I feel like every time I talk about this, I lose like 3 years off my life.
Same.
Because I just stress about it. I'm finding more and more gray hairs as the days go by, and I just and now I have
the other night and found a gray hair. I was like, oh my god!
And I've got pain everywhere. Like,
yeah,
I'm either getting super old or I'm getting super tired of the fact that what the hell's going on with the Calgary Flames.
Honestly, but okay. I know we weren't going to talk about Matthew Tkachuk because that's
God, here we go, Matthew.
Well, listen, him and his family are living their best life out in Greece right now.
Oh yeah,
I know they have cell phone reception because they're posting all over Instagram, so they can get those phone calls. What do you think? Okay, say the negotiations, like he's looking to stay in Calgary. What do you think those negotiations look like?
Not good right now, or almost stale.
Okay. I would assume that there's nothing happening right now.
Yeah, you're saying if he does want to stay, what do they look like, kind of thing?
Yeah, and say John signs. Tomorrow morning, whole new conversation. We're doing a Friday afternoon news dump.
Yeah, okay.
With John resigning.
John's here.
Yeah.
I'll bet you it's next order of business. And I'll bet you it's a little easier this time around.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a little bit easier.
So.
Because if John gets 9.5, what does Matthew get? Like 8.5?
I don't think Keith or Chantel's gonna let him take less than 9.
Well, that's it. Like, I don't think the Flames want to give him more than Gaudreau.
No, they would be insane to.
And I don't think they get matching deals.
No, there's no way.
I don't think he's like, if John, even if they bump him up to 10, does Matthew sign an extension worth $9 million per year?
I would be sick.
Because the qualifying offer is 9.
To him.
The qualifying offer is 9. You probably want to sign him for long term less than 9. I mean, if you're the Flames, yes, for sure you want to do that. But what's Tkachuk want? I don't know. There hasn't been a whole lot of talk about it because we're trying to figure out what's going on with Gaudreau. So,
and I like you said on Twitter a few weeks ago, Brady's negotiations were just the appetizer.
Oh yeah, that was we know what this family's like. I hope to God it's easier, but I'm not holding my breath. It's a family business when you're dealing with the Tkachuks. Everybody's involved at every level. So
now he's got a girlfriend too, so he's got to.
Well, I know, and now he's gonna have to worry about a family and where he's gonna want to settle and all that stuff too, right? So I don't know. Brady's choosing to live in Ottawa for the next 7 years, so I mean, Calgary's a lot nicer than I've lived in both towns. Calgary's a heck of a lot nicer than it is in Ottawa. So Brady can settle for the Ottawa Senators, playing in Canada, Ontario.
When I found out that it's not in,
it's like 5 minutes from the city limits. Yeah. No. It used to be now it's just surrounded by car dealerships.
But see, that sounds like Calgary to me. Like in my head, that's what Calgary is.
Yeah.
It's more built up.
It is. But they're going to go play in Lambert and Flats in Ottawa anyways. They're going to get a new arena deal, so they'll get that going. But yeah. Tough times being in Flames media right now.
Yeah, and you know what? It's only going to get better or worse. We don't know.
We don't know. It could go either way. 50-50. Flip a coin. How's it going to go? I couldn't tell you.
Like if you asked me the day of like the exit interviews how I thought things were going to go, wouldn't be this.
No, me neither.
I thought this deal would have been.
I thought they were going to make quicker work out of it, but I understand why it's not quicker work. So we'll see. Time will tell. I feel like
it's so mean saying, well, it's because he has to consider the family. Like that's not me saying it in like a negative way, but like.
No, it's just what's important to him, you know.
To now, and
it's important to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so many things that are good.
Guy, Brad Tree Living, I know you're watching. I know the owners are watching. Just offer Guy some sort of position.
Yeah.
Jane, I don't know what she did in a past life for her job. If she wants to work for you, you find her a job.
Nurse too? I know Meredith's a nurse.
Yeah, I know she is.
Was Jane a nurse? I don't know. I don't know enough about
Either way, you know what? If they don't have to work, you know why?
Yeah, John will take care of them.
John will take care of them.
Or no, Guy will take care of Jane. Just give Guy whatever he wants and let him take care of his stuff, and the Gaudreaus can be Calgarians, all of them. Uncle Jim too. Bring them all.
All of them. Meredith, I don't know where your family is, but if they want to
they can be Calgarians too. Oh, crazy times.
I can't even try to process. John was like the main reason I like wanted to cover this team. It was between Calgary and the Blue Jackets, and I said, well, Calgary has like really cool jerseys, and I am like fascinated with the idea of Johnny Gaudreau. Like, I want to know if he really hates Calgary as much as it's perceived.
Then you started covering the team. You're like, what was everybody talking about?
Right. I was like, this kid loves it here. His family practically lives here.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know.
Do you ever see them out and about?
No, I haven't. I know a guy that I played shinny with. His name's Andrew Yip. Andrew Yip? God, he runs a shinny league in Calgary. That's who Guy plays through. Because this guy's job is he just runs shinny leagues.
Oh my God.
And that's his career, which would be sweet. But he played in I know he played in the day ice times. Guy did. So I've never seen them out and actually, okay, that's a lie. Not really out and about. I saw them at a practice when I was doing more writing stuff
Okay.
for previous writing place establishments.
Yeah.
I would go to a lot of practices and do like game day reports and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
And I sat behind the Gaudreaus, and they are just the sweetest people you'll ever come across. Just salt of the earth, so nice. You introduce yourself to them, and they'll sit there and have a conversation with you and talk to you about your life and what you do. And they were incredible people. So that was my only interaction with them was at a practice. But I hope that does not mean that's the end of my interactions with the Gaudreau family.
Please no. We need more.
Coming back for my sake, please.
Oh my God. Like,
Crazy
I
time.
feel selfish wanting him back, but it's also
I do too.
I don't want to sit here and spend my summers crying about Johnny Gaudreau not being a Flame anymore.
Nope, I don't have time for that, quite frankly.
No.
I will be devastated.
Since we have a few viewers, where do you think Johnny's gonna go?
Yeah, that's the big...
What's like your take on the situation?
And hopefully everybody says Calgary.
Yeah,
because that's like the right answer right now.
It's the only option.
It's the only option on this show, at least. We'll tell you that much for free. But
I'm also curious about another little Italian man, Andrew Mangiapane.
Oh yeah, him. The prime offer sheet candidate for every other team who wants a 30-goal scorer.
Oh, good. I asked people to put their things in, and then they left. Okay.
Oh, nice.
There's one person here. Thanks for hanging out.
They're like, we're gonna make like Johnny Gaudreau and leave. Too soon. You want to know where he's going? Leaves.
Yep. Thanks,
that was their subliminal message trying to tell us that he's not coming back.
They're like, we can't listen to these two crazy people go on anymore.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, Monge is going to be interesting. That's a whole other can of worms that I don't think is even going to be opened until they get the two big ones dealt with. One, Calgary. Two, if he actually wants to come back east, he needs to come back to his college town.
Correct.
Okay, there's too much Bruins. There's too much Bruins stuff going on here for a Calgary Flames show.
No.
Okay, fine. We'll just trade his rights to the Bruins for David Pastrnak. I'll take that.
That's fine.
Give him an extent. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter for you. It matters for just Bruins fans, not Bruins Flames people.
No, it would but it would still be hard because like you just.
Oh yeah, not easy.
No,
not easy.
But since it is almost midnight here, should probably wrap it up.
The damn draft took too long. Getting into our talking.
8:30, 9 o'clock. I was like, okay, like it's gotta be.
I texted Jess and I was like, is this still happening, or do you want to just like ditch the draft?
Like, and I was on someone else's podcast, and then I was like, okay, I need to start my show because I need to not host it at 1 a.m. when people are sleeping.
Yeah, exactly.
But Sarah, thank you so much for hanging out with us. She's good old Travis Hamonic fan.
Oh, go Sens go.
Yeah.
Travis Hamonic's a beauty too. He was great in this city. He did a lot of stuff for First Nations youth and had a program. Sorry, just quickly.
Yeah.
Had a program in Calgary as well for young Flames fans who actually lost a parent.
Yeah, that's was one of the first
suite.
things I learned about him.
Yeah, because he lost his dad.
His dad when he was like 16.
When he was young. So
yeah.
So his program gave back to kids who lost a parent. So that was super cool. Going to those practices, you always saw those kids because he brought them. He did the whole game day experience with them. So it was cool to see that too.
That's why when Vancouver fans were like, Travis Hamonic isn't playing because he isn't vaccinated. And it's like, no, like there's literally something else going on because his daughter has heart problems and he opted out of the playoffs because of that. Yeah,
let him be.
We don't tolerate Travis Hamonic slander. If you want.
No, we don't. Travis Hamonic Stan podcast.
Yeah. Ooh, new messages. Let's see. big for the Dead Dads Club. He was 10. I was 12. Sarah. Dead Dads Club, rise up. Anyways.
I feel like I'm on the wrong show, and this. You guys can just take over. I'm sorry.
No,
I am sorry in both regards.
But it's okay. At least I host a hockey podcast and can pay bills with it, right?
That's right.
So yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Do you have anything else you want to throw out there?
No, I put everything into the universe that I want to happen. If you're replaying this on YouTube, you can find me on Twitter at AudieJames. And you can find me on future episodes of Locked On Flames once we start getting our weekly schedule down pats. I think we're going to do every Wednesday.
Yes, every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. This crazy Calgarian will be coming back.
Yes, you're coming back, and we're going to figure out some more fun stuff to talk about.
Lots of fun stuff.
Okay, well, I accidentally did that. Whoops. Because there's plenty more to talk about than just
of course
Johnny Gaudreau character, right?
Mm-hmm. There will be.
There will be. There's gonna have to be, because
we can't keep talking about this.
No, we can't. We have to move on. We have to move on from Johnny. In the topic sense, he can come back.
That's right. Yes, that's right.
Yes. But thank you all for joining the show. As always, you can find us wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Make sure to tune in. This is technically Friday's show. So Monday's show or a weekend show if something happens. Please, God. Johnny, if you're listening, put the pen to paper.
I will drive the pen to your house. I know where you live.
My favorite thing earlier was like figuring out rents of the luxury apartments in Calgary. I was like, oh, 40 grand a month. That's it. Okay, great. Yeah, super casual. But thank you, Bet Online, for sponsoring. Go check them out. And I will see you all on hopefully Saturday, Sunday with some fun breaking news about a contract.